How you doing, guys? Zane's Every Boxing Dosage here, back with another video. And in this video I'd like to give you my prediction for this upcoming fight. It's going down tomorrow night on the main event, headlining Keyshawn Davis versus Gustavo Lemos. Good fight, I believe. Very good, decent fight, for a main event. Keyshawn Davis touted to be a prospect, a future rising star. So he's headlining the show. An interesting fact that all his brothers are fighting on the main undercard as well of his main event headlining. So, that's going to be a historic event for the Keyshawn Davis family, you know what I mean? So, big shout out to all his family. Hopefully they all get the wins, but let's get on to the main event. That's the prediction we're going with. Keyshawn Davis looking really good right now in his career, undefeated. So he's looking really good and very spiteful puncher at that. Decent KO ratio, he's going in there with a very good step up, I believe, and this is going to be a good gauge to see whether Keyshawn Davis is going to make it to that world level, of fighting. You know what I mean? Someone like a Devin Haney or someone like Ryan Garcia or something like that, It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do in this fight, because Gustavo Lemos is a sort of Argentinian fighter who don't come to lay down, This guy's coming to fight and he's going to come and try and knock you out, and he's got relentless power, pressure that he poses. And not only that, I think his stamina and conditioning is really good, I think in his last fight against Richardson Hitchens, he hurt Richardson Hitchens numerous times, and it was a very close fight because Hitchens was hurt quite a few times, and it just looked like it could have swung in Lemos's way if he continued to build that pressure and be smart with it. But unfortunately for him, Richardson Hitchens started to gain a second win in that fight, and he started using his boxing ability and outboxed Gustavo Lemos. But it was a very close fight, so full credit to Gustavo Lemos as well. I knew of him as well, to be honest. He also beat Lee Selby, which was a British fighter, who was also touted to be something that he was going to be in the future, some world champion, But, at the same time, Gustavo Lemos has got some experience on his resume there in terms of Richardson Hitchens as well, in his last fight. And I wasn't quite impressed with his fight against Richardson Hitchens. Like I said, very competitive. So I think Keyshawn Davis, he's got to be smart in there tomorrow night, because Lemos has got power as well, and he doesn't want to get caught slipping, because he's a main event. So at the same time, it's his hometown, so I think he's going to want to try and put up a show. But, skills pay the bills, and sometimes it's better to play it safe. At the same time, we don't know where Keyshawn Davis's mentality is. He might want to go in there and try to put a knockout, And I don't rule that out. At the same time, Gustavo Lemos is a tough fighter. You know what I mean? So at the same time, you gotta be careful. You can't underestimate no one in this fight, and this is a tougher fight that people are giving Gustavo Lemos credit for. They're kind of ruling him out, but at the same time, I could see why Keyshawn Davis is favoured in this fight, because he's just a more talented fighter. Gustavo Lemos is just a pressure fighter, and we saw in his last fight against Richardson Hitchens, he can be outboxed, but Keyshawn Davis has got to mix it up with him, because he's got to gain his respect, and I think he's got that sort of power to definitely gain his respect. Richardson Hitchens was definitely a more polished sort of boxer, like to fight on his back foot and use the jab more, whereas Keyshawn Davis, he can also box as well, but he likes to engage a bit more than Richardson Hitchens, I believe. So could be opportunities there for a knockout for him, but at the same time, Gustavo Lemos, is gonna be there, and he's gonna try and definitely outwork and out hustle Keyshawn Davis. So he's got to be careful as well. But my final prediction, guys, I'm gonna go with Keyshawn Davis to win this fight, and I'm gonna say either by late knockout or points victory. But I'm gonna go with a points victory at the same time, because I just feel like this is gonna be a test for Keyshawn Davis, and Gustavo Lemos is a very experienced fighter at that. It could be a knockout. Keyshawn has said that he's going to look for the knockout. But I think he's gonna survive, and I think Keyshawn wins this by a comfortable points victory. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. I got Keyshawn Davis by unanimous decision. Until the next video, Zane's Heavy Boxing Dosage. I'm out.